Monday morning. It's rained overnight, but it's not too wet. So obviously the base is pretty decent, so it's just taking it because it's gravel. So we're gonna get these grids reset and sort the shutters out and get the stone to the right height. So that should keep us busy most of the day again. I think that's right up now. I know it's still going at the back. But there you go. Be alright that now. Yeah, it'd be alright. Just go slow down, it'd be fine. Yeah, go on. There you go. It's out. Bye. Let's see if we can. Just, if you tip the bucket a bit. Go on. Try that. It's down on that. That way a little bit. Screw that way a bit, Dave. That's it, down on that now. See if we can get some of this out. Well, just go back. You might just be able to push it down flat and ladle it. Right, just push out. Right, down on that now. Just go down. Down, 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 down. Nah, it's too stodgy. Worth a try. Just mix the semi-dry mix to go on this grid. I was going to try and pack it with them chipper teeth, but I don't think it's going to work. I think they're going to stop it keying properly, so I'll just sit it on a bed of cement. It was hard work mixing that by hand, so we're going to put the pan mixer on because we've got another 5 to do. Just getting a string line across there now. Make sure that's the right height. And we'll set that in. Just need to put a couple of blocks around that corner that have gone missing. Just going to take this round now, get some of the stuff we've dug off. I'm going to go out this gateway and then back into the other one so that we're in the right place. Quite a bit that we've taken out, obviously because the old concrete was 4 inches and the new's going in 6. It's worked out well, really. Lloyds are here for weeks, but they've turned the blower on for some reason, no idea why. They're making a funny noise. It nearly looks like we know what we're doing, doesn't it? Almost ours are. Dave's just taking a little bit here now. We've got that one set. That one set. Just 2 more to, oh no, 1, 2, 3 more to go. It looks like Lloyd's are here for another feed week. 1:30 and it feels like it's going dark, but that one's set, that one's set, that one is, that one, these are sediment interceptors. That's the normal grid, and that's a normal grid. Feels like it's going to start raining now. Andrew's just washing the barrow off. There's a high spot there, so he's just pulling it out with a big digger so that we've got this 6 inches all over it. A little bit of backfilling by that container to hold the shutter a bit, just like we've done over here. And then we've got a little bit of stoning in to put in here because that's rubbish stone. I'm going to take that out and put some better stuff in. But yeah, so now when the concrete pushes against that shutter, they won't move. Then we would chip that when we've finished. Starting to come together though. We've been so lucky the rain's proper set in. I need to sort that downspout out. So it's been knocked off, but it runs down here and it's going to wash the concrete. So I need to take the end caps off the gutter and then block that while the concrete goes off because we don't want it destroying the new concrete. But yeah, it's just chucking it down now. just ran to Screwfix to get some fittings for that air compressor pipe. Hopefully they should work. Big as a guard in the yard, stopping anyone driving over it now. It has just absolutely tipped it down while I've been at Screwfix. Another truck's here, the container tipping off. Glad I've got my hood. Don't forget, Christmas is coming. Get yourself on the website. Keep being busy. Yeah, I'm doing a thing now for GB News because there's been a Telegraph that's claiming that they've seen a leaked report that the net's done, but from what they've said in the report, doesn't sound like they have seen the report because it doesn't make sense. I'm actually quite excited about the Manette's profitable farming report that's coming out, or whatever you want to call it, because having spoke to her a few times as she's been doing it, it's needed. So yeah, it's needed, and loads of people are saying it doesn't mention IHT. It wasn't within the scope of it, but of course it does mention it because it is the single biggest thing affecting farming at the moment. So fingers crossed it's going to be out this week or early into next. And yeah, but so I'll go and do this GB News thing, and I can imagine it'll be pitch black by the time I've finished. Done the interview. Bit strange because there's some breaking news coming from an earthquake, or a tsunami that might cause an earthquake that might cause a tsunami in Japan. And then there's some breaking news from a court case. So I expected him to scrub me, despite me being sat on Zoom ready to go. So when the interview did start, I didn't know it was going to be so long. So I was kind of putting the points across and answered them as quickly as I could. And then he kept asking another when I expected fully to be bumped. But anyway, that is all for today. I'll show you the interview at the end. Before that though, Edna, E-N-A, I don't know how you pronounce it, Edna Dodman would have been 100 today. So Gary, her son's put her on there. She was a former land girl, but Gary's in America by the looks of things because he's paid in US dollars. But yeah, happy heavenly 100th birthday. We're now at 106,521, so thank you. Only one today. That is all for today. It's supposed to be dry now tomorrow, which is good, and windy, so it means that it'll nicely dry the yard. And we can just check all them levels, trim them all up, a little bit of shuttering to do by where we park my car, and then all good for concrete going down first thing on Wednesday morning. That's all for today. Sorry about the concrete content, but that's just what we're up to at the moment. Calendar needs changing, doesn't it? There is no calendars this year. Last year we had a few left, and then I was too late getting them ordered and stuff. So yeah, maybe next year we'll do another one. But yeah, that's all for today anyway. Don't forget, merch is on there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
A Labour Commission review is expected to find that Sir Keir Starmer's inheritance tax raid will harm family farms after all. Well, that's the report by Baroness Batters, published later this month, a former president of the National Farmers Union. Well, somebody who won't need telling that this is a reality is the farmer Olly Harrison, who joins me now. Olly, welcome to the show. You knew that this was going to damage farmers the moment it was announced, and now a Labour Commission review agrees with you.
Yeah, I mean, the review is to do with the profitability of agriculture. And obviously, even without the IHT at the moment, it's not a very profitable place, hence why we weren't generating any profits to pay the IHT. So the review is well welcomed. You know, it's a future roadmap of how agriculture is going to be going forwards, which is brilliant. But it was held back till after the budget, which is a shame. I think it was told to not really talk about IHT, but it's the elephant in the room. You can't not talk about it. So yeah, as soon as this report's out, the better. That's what we're hoping for.
And you also had a nightmare year this year because it was so dry, so arable crops in particular. I understand £800 million was the damage that caused to agriculture. And so the point is, Olly, if you're getting squeezed left, right and centre, it stands to reason that clamping down on tax as well is going to be damaging.
Yeah, no, that's it. Farming needs to be in a better place. You know, that drought cost me a lot of money, a lot of other farmers lots of money as well this year. And when you're losing money, how are you expected to find this, 2% a year or 20% over 10 years to pay the capital value of agriculture? I mean, someone had a sign on one of the tractors a few weeks ago. It said, undervalued when alive and overvalued when dead. And that absolutely sums it up perfectly. The UK Ag PLC, shall we say, is totally undervalued. They don't take into account all the industries that support agriculture, whether the people supplying tractors, vets, concrete companies, anything that inputs into farms, and then the output of the processed agricultural product as well is all value for this sort of GDP. But DTI don't see that. They just see agriculture as being like 0.6% and don't really take us seriously enough. And it's such a shame, because if they roll them other bits in, they'll take us seriously. They'll listen to us. They'll sort this IHT thing out and get us back investing and keep us farming.
Olly, how does it make you feel today that the other big news is the digital ID scheme is expected to be pushed through despite 3 million people signing a petition against it, and the cost of that, £1.8 billion, that's more than the tax raid on British farmers? Almost like the farmers are paying for the digital ID scheme.
Are we paying for that? Or are we paying to prop JLR up when they had the computers hacked? Are we paying for the NHS? Who knows? All I do know is that we can't pay for everyone. We can't afford it. It's more expensive to eat out than it is to eat in. But why do you think that we can destroy UK agriculture and bring everything in? That's just the equivalent of eating out every night. All that money's just leaving the economy all the time. Nothing's coming back to replace it. We could be growing stuff here. We could be exporting it and bringing money back into the economy and propping it up.
Now, Lady Batters, what a name to conjure with. She's given the Labour Party here a bit of a battering, Olly, and she said that it will harm farmers, the inheritance tax hike, but she stopped short of saying that the government should do a U-turn. So it's an advisory report. Do you live in hope? It's Christmas, Olly. Do you live in hope of a miracle that the Labour government will listen to you and finally do a U-turn?
Well, it's their report written by an expert. You'd like to think that they'd listen to it. I believe she didn't make any recommendations of what they could do instead, but she has publicly said, and it's quite common knowledge, that she believes the thresholds are to be completely wrong and that they need raising, which is what we've been saying all the way along. So hopefully some common sense will prevail.
And if that doesn't happen, Christmas is always a time for reflection. Are you hearing from the farming community still, Olly, that many people now are just thinking about throwing in the towel in the new year?
Oh, definitely, yeah. And, and Christmas is normally the time of year when the supermarkets start selling a lot of things below the cost of production to get people in to buy expensive chocolates. And, of course, it undermines farm shops and it undermines the whole, economy of agriculture. Our output prices just get driven right the way down. Yes, we know people don't want to spend a lot of money, but the packers and the processors along the way, they're still taking the cream. The milk price has just dropped. The cereal price has been on the floor. We're getting less for cereals now than we have been for the last 15 years, despite our inputs being higher. It's just not a good place. And if we can get that report and they can take some advice from it and get us in a better place, get us so that we can feed ourselves again. It's shocking how little food that we have in the country that we produce ourselves now.
Entirely right. Olly Harrison, it's always a pleasure to have your company. Next time, hopefully, be in the studio so I can buy you a nice, well-earned Christmas drink. Olly Harrison, mind how you go. Thank you very much. Now, on the issue of the family farms tax, the government has previously told us this. We are committed to supporting farmers and rural communities, including helping families to pass their land on to the next generation. It is not fair for a very small number of claimants each year to claim such a significant amount of relief when this money could better be used to fund our public services.